Hello, everybody. This is the lesson for February 16th, and it's about the Southeast Asia tsunami. And I wrote this date weird on purpose. Where it was occurring was already December 26th, the day after Christmas, which a lot of people in the world call Boxing Day. It was still Christmas night here in the Western Hemisphere. Okay? I'll tell you a story about it. This is 2004, and I was at home, and my phone rang, and one of my former students, I'd had him a year or two before, said, "Hi, Mr. Fisk, this is Alex." I said, "Hi, Alex, what's up?" He said, "There's just been a terrible earthquake and tsunami in the Indian Ocean. Turn on your TV," and I did, and of course I thanked him, and I turned on TV, and then I'd never paid that much attention to tsunamis before, and I don't make that mistake anymore. They are incredibly powerful and terrible, and you need to know about them, even though you live in the Midwest. Okay, so here's the story. I'm going to walk to the back of my room and see if I can do this without having my phone do the flip thing. This is the second time I've recorded this lesson because it flipped, and I didn't want it to flip. Those of you that are familiar with my room have heard me refer to the death quilt. That's this green graph paper in the back of the room, and each sheet is filled with tally marks. I really don't want it to do a flip. Hopefully you can see each sheet is filled with tally marks. Now, here's the story behind that. It was Christmas vacation. This is back in 2004 when the high school still had the block schedule. Okay? If your parents were Albert Lee kids back then, they can tell you about the block schedule. You only had 4 classes a day, and they're each 86 minutes long. Okay? Now, the first day of school coming back in 2005 was going to be staff development. So we had, not staff development, we had an assembly and a weird schedule. So each of the classes was going to be different lengths, and only 4th hour was going to be 86 minutes long, and it was like, what am I going to do? Well, the tsunami hit. So when the kids walked in the first hour that day, I gave them each a piece of that graph paper. I said, "You're going to do something weird. I'm not going to tell you what it is until we're done." I told them, start filling out 5 tally marks per square. "Why?" I said, "I'll tell you later." "Why?" And pretty soon, the kid, your hands and eyes just kind of get it automatic. And they filled out the tally marks in the sheet. It took about 20 minutes. And when they got done, they said, "Okay, Fiscus, why did we do that?" And I said, "Each one of those marks you made was a person who died in the tsunami." And, each kid did, I don't know, 2,000 or something. But when you look at how many sheets I had the kids each did a sheet, and then in the hour that I had a whole bunch of time, we did quality control. We inspected, made sure that we had all good sheets, and then they scissored them out, cut them out, and taped them together, and then I laminated them. So I had it all done in a day, and then I could show everybody the next day what we had done. That's 230,000 people that died from this one disaster. Now, what you need to know is it happened in a part of the world, beautiful part of the world, okay? It happened over a Christmas vacation, and it affected people from all over the world who traveled to this part of the world for Christmas, okay? Now, it didn't affect a lot of Americans because it's so far away. I'm going to show you the story today from one American family, the Breisch family, a dad and a mom and 3 teenagers who went to paradise for scuba diving, and it turned into a trip to hell. Okay, here we go. This is a documentary caught on camera. It's an hour and 12 minutes long. Obviously, I can't show you the whole thing. We don't have that kind of time. I'll give you the option to watch the whole thing, and this will be something that many of you won't be able to stop watching. It's just like it just grabs you. We're just going to watch the about 15-minute story of the Breisch family. Here's the introduction.
Just another day in paradise.
Unwrapping Christmas presents.
Das gibt's ja wohl gar nicht. Was ist das?
Here comes the wave.
Hammer. Tsunami.
This person's frozen in fear, and now they're dead. All right. Now you're going to meet Stu Breisch. He reminds me of a guy I know in Austin. Come on.
I was in Thailand for a scuba diving vacation of a lifetime, we call it. I was there with my future wife, Sally, and my
Sally.
3 children,
Jay.
Shanti, and Kali. And we dove day after day after day. It was just amazing. So beautiful.
All right, now the next 16 minutes. So what this is several different people's stories all woven together, and we just don't have time, so I'm only cutting out the parts to show you from the Breisch family. The other stuff's all good too, but we just don't have that kind of time. Okay, so they've been scuba diving like crazy, and it's hard work sometimes. So the 2 younger kids decided to sleep in this day, and so only the mom, the dad, and the oldest sister go out.
One more day, and we left Jay and Kali, because she chose to, at the beach. So they both, of course, teenagers do, slept in. We had a very hard time finding a place that seemed safe to dive master dive, because the currents were crazy, she said.
The ocean's acting funny.
Ready to go, and we dropped down, and immediately it was like dropping down into a whirlpool.
The current was just phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. You couldn't control. I mean, you just had to go wherever it took you.
I figured at that time that I was just being a terrible diver, that I had just lost my buddies. I didn't know what I was doing.
It was remarkable because there were no fish. I've never seen that in the Simons. So something was coming, and the fish knew it.
This is Boxing Day, there, how full of
So the ocean's funny, the current is funny, there's no fish. They don't figure out yet that something's going on. And now I have a big break here, 48 minutes.
Let's go to survive.
He seemed almost dead.
Sorry.
As we approached the beach, we could see that the hotels were gone. They had been flattened, basically. I mean, almost like a nuclear holocaust. Everything's flattened. Then we started.
You're gonna see dead people.
trails
You're gonna see dead
of
people.
debris. But then we see a person. And we picked up 5 or 6 people. We picked up a dead body.
They're picking up survivors and dead people.
Surrealistic at that point. There were thousands of people who were dead on that beach.
I thought my kids were dead. That no one could have survived this. Or if you did, you had to have the grace of God sitting on your shoulder.
Now, the search. They're looking for their 2 kids.
That first day, we spent really looking for the kids.
Hiked down through the devastation to where the bungalows were and up to the bungalow that the kids were in, which was completely demolished. And they were not there. We found Holly's bathing suit top, and we found Jay's torn jeans, and we just dug through the rubble looking for them.
It was horrific. There is no, I just don't have any other word to describe. We just sat on the steps of the bungalow and mourned. I had hope that they were alive, but I didn't believe they were alive. I had accepted that I had lost both of my youngest children.
All right, this next part is the hardest to watch. I think. Nope, it's coming up. It's the part after this.
First thing,
He's searching.
where are our kids? Are they under the debris? You know, are they still alive and need to be dug out and helped? And by this time, you could start to locate bodies by your nose. There was a smell, and usually they weren't alive. Even cats had the same smell, so you'd be digging through the debris and, oh, it's a cat, you know. And but looking, you know, honoring that last shred of hope.
So, where do you look when you can't find them? They would start to go through lists of the people that were found alive and pictures of the people who'd been found dead.
His name on a list. Jay's alive. Oh my God. But where is he? And it took us several days to find him.
Jay was in Bangkok Hospital and they flew me out to be with him. I stood by his bed. He opened his eyes and smiled. I kissed him on the forehead. And he said, "I'm just so glad to know that you're all alive." And he said, "Have you found Kali?" I said, "No, but Shanti and your dad are still looking for her." And he nodded and he said, "We won't find her. She's gone."
All right, they're on live TV,
Looking at the
like
pictures of
Good Morning America or something.
And Good Morning America had
Yep.
the cameras running.
Dad, this is her.
These are the people, the dead people. These are pictures of dead people.
Oh my God.
They just now found her. I can't believe the cameraman didn't cut away, but he didn't. That's the moment they found out.
She was very dear to me. My other kids always teased me that she was my favorite. She wasn't my favorite, but I really had a good connection with her. It was solid. And we talked about things, and I did a whole lot of things to try and be a good father for her.
All right, the last part.
Awareness of how fragile our lives really are, and they can be snuffed out in an instant.
I don't know that we've come through it. I don't know that we ever will come through it. Jay collapsed. He was treated for chronic pain and became dependent upon pain medication. And Kali was his best friend. So it was harder for him, and that was very hard for us. It was very hard for me. It was very hard for Stu because it was like the tsunami.
You may look normal, you go on and leading a normal life.
All right. So that's 18 minutes already. So in wrap up, we're going to spend time talking about this tsunami in 2004 and also the tsunami that hit Japan in 2011. Okay, both that have affected me, and how important it is to know about them and the danger they pose to people all over the world. Okay, all right, I'm going to end this one, and hopefully you'll find this all very interesting.